Hey folks, welcome back to the TSS stream. Today we're going to be playing some games with Ancient Box, but first I have some Shrouded Fable product gifted to me by GameStop. So I'm going to open this stuff up first, and then from there we will do some Ancient Box gameplay on live. Audio is a bit low. Thank you. Let me just move my mic closer. Is this better for the audio? Sweet. Okay. So I have one blister pack, one of the Petrunt blisters, and I have two of the tins. So I'm going to start by opening the tins. We're going to open the tins up first. So we have this Fez tin. Whoa. Oh, is this a sticker? I actually didn't know the tins had stickers in them now. That's cute. Put the stickers off to the side. Oh, knock out for my mic. Alright. First, the pretty Pheasantipity art on the pack. Alright. I do not remember what the pack trick is. I don't open packs a whole lot. Does anybody know how many cards I have to move to the front these days? I think... Okay. I got it. Pack trick done. Whoa! Reverse Hollow Psychic Energy. It's a cool pattern. I didn't know that there were Reverse Hollow Psychics in the, or Reverse Hollow Energy in general in this set. Got the code card, the Fracture, Furfru. A lot of cards I haven't seen from this set because of the more just filler art cards. Toxicroak, Eevee. Oh, the Eviltal that spreads 30 to everything. Oh, a Night Stretcher is never bad. Can always use more Night Stretchers. Gotta get that to focus. Got Sylveon, Furfru, and then Absol, and the Haxorus. So I actually don't have that Haxorus, so we got the Haxorus for Drago. That's not bad. The auto knockout if your opponent has a special energy attached. Solid and Lugia matchup. You can also punish someone putting like a Mist Energy on a Pidgeot. If they put Mist Energy on Pidgey. I know I play Pidgey Control this at Worlds, and I put Mist Energy on my Pidgey to avoid the Phantom Dive quite often, so. Wait. I'm waiting. Oh, you're right. I missed that. I completely, at Worlds, did Mist Energy my Pidgeot so that it couldn't be knocked out by Haxorus. Easy. So I actually attacked into, I did 180 to a Drago, and then I finished it off with, plus 3 wins, so I had to attach a Mist Energy to it, because I actually did play against one Drago that was playing the Haxorus. Another Reverse Hollow Energy. That's cool. I'm glad that they have those in every pack. I always like more fancy energy options. I am putting the codes face up, so if you guys are seeing them, you can nab them. Hopefully somebody's catching them. You have the Persian, Krogunk, Stuffle, Rowlet, Cassiopeia. This is a card that, like, could be good. I know when the set first came out, Jesse Parker was, like, posted on Twitter a list, a Miraidon list of the Cassiopeia. Obviously, he decided it wasn't worth it in the end, so maybe the card's just not quite there yet. Doesn't have a strong enough use yet. But we have the Galvantula, Night Academy, Academy at Night, 06 Machinations, nice Snorlax card, Reverse Hollow Galvantula. Ooh, the Pheasantipity. I actually don't have the Pheasantipity EX yet. Easy. 2 packs? What was everyone complaining about? 2 packs, already got my Fez. 1 tin. Okay, let's get the next tin done. Pheasant Skibbity. I guess I'll say Pheasant Skibidi just for the stream. The Okidogi, that's what his name is. Okidogi Stinks. I wonder if we'll ever see. I think eventually we'll see an Okidogi deck in day 2 at a major. Definitely was not good for Worlds. Still isn't great now, but we'll see somebody. We'll see somebody play an Okidogi list to a day 2 at some point. All right. Oh, another lightning. Code card. Another Toxicroak. Meowth. Ooh, that's nice. I love Meowth. Horsey. Fracture. Weavile. The Slitherwing that kills Iron Hands and Iron Thorns really handily. Another Cassiopeia. Reverse Hollow Stuffle. Reverse Hollow Krogunk. And our Hollow is Copperaja. Nothing too exciting there. That's alright. Alright. One more pack out of the tins, and then we just have the blister to go. Rowlet. Axew. Ooh, that's cute. Zorua. Dartrix. Another 0-6, this time non-hollow. The Kyurem, which I also need for Drago. Academy at Night. Another Cassiopeia. Oh, the Blood Moon Ursaluna. I know my friend Sky De La Cruz actually been playing. Gotten like quite a few championship points already with Blood Moon Iron Valiant. I don't think it's the best deck in the world, but it's something. It exists. A cat trying to eat all the plastic from the tins. Hollow Copperaja. And then, oh, okay, so they're not all reverse hollow. I just have been getting lucky. Luna, you cannot eat the pack wrappers. That is just not something you may do today. Pop open this blister. One, two, three, and the Pecharunt that was banned for Worlds. I think it was only banned because it was like not available in Japan yet or something. So it was more just a matter of fairness. But obviously, not the best card in the world. You can poison donk some things. Unfortunately, it came out around the same time. Well, fortunately, probably. Came out around the same time as lots of these big basic decks are now taken over. So, not going to be donking a lot of those. Alright. We've got another Rowlet. Another Horsey. Oh, the Dusclops. Cursed Bomb. Beware. Oh, a Binding Mochi. For that Okidogi player that's making day 2 at Baltimore. Malamar. Weavile. Reverse Hollow Hypno. Ooh, the Full Art Cassiopeia. This is such a pretty card. Let's see how well I can get this focused on here. That card is super pretty. I don't have any sleeves easily available, so that's okay. I'm gonna put them aside in the deck box for later. GameStop brings your packs. Yeah, this has been pretty hot. I don't open a lot of packs, but these have been great. Copperaja, another Psychic Energy. One sec, guys. Just need to blow my nose. Alright, 2 packs to go. My cat is really trying to eat this plastic. My cat loves eating plastic. It's her favorite. Dark Energy code card. The Absol. Houndoom. Another Rowlet. Another Fracture. Lots of Fractures. Oh, Colorless Tenacity. Okay. World Champion card. Decidueye. Another Binding Mochi. Houndoom. Reverse Hollow Inkay. Oh, and the Okidogi EX. We're building the deck. Maybe I'll be the Okidogi player to make day 2. Alright. Reverse Hollow Dark Energy for my Okidogi deck. Code. Axew. Sneasel. Another Furfrou. Dartrix. Unite those wings. Galvantula. Oh, Power Glass. I think this card's pretty underrated. I don't know if anyone's played it with Bolt, but it does, like, if you find this early game with Bolt, it is huge. Like, that, it's so much extra energy. You're basically just free knocking out, like, Charmanders and stuff like that. Might not be the time for it right now, but I don't know. I tested a little bit of it in Bolt, and it felt really strong. Slitherwing. Reverse Hollow Copperajah. Reverse Hollow Dartrix. Last card. Tapu Bulu. Well, we still got... Let's see, what other hollows did we get? So, we got Tapu Bulu. We got a couple Copperajah, I think. But the cream of the crop was the Okidogi, Cassiopeia, and the Pheasantipity. Huge. The best card in the set. The only card I really need from this set. But I'm not going to complain about a full art Cassiopeia and an Okidogi. Alright. Well, that's all our packs for today. Thank you so much to GameStop for providing me the product. And I will be back in like 10 seconds with some Ancient Box. Ah, I'm flipped. But I am back. Wait, let me flip this. I just do the whole stream like this. You know, I could just, you know, you guys, we're chilling like this, right? You guys like me upside down here? I'm in the Lost Zone. Okay, I've escaped the Lost Zone. So let's take a look at the list first. And, you know, if anyone wants the list, they can screenshot it from here. Fix my microphone. Is it, what's going on with my microphone? Then I can fix it. If I know what the issue is. Is it just too quiet? Is it like sound weird? Okay. Well, no response. So I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. But this is the list. No Pecha seems sketchy. I mean, really, you just want Pecha for Lax. I don't think Lax is very good right now. It didn't have a huge showing at Worlds, and it doesn't do great into what did well at Worlds. So I think we can assume Lax is gonna be pretty low percentage for a while. Obviously, they can have some other like very niche uses, but it's really not super necessary. So we are playing the Fez though. Now this may seem counterintuitive. We usually just want to have one prizers. Can barely hear me. Is everybody else having the same problem? I don't know if I can make it louder on my end. I could hold the mic and just talk into it like this. Is this better? Okay. Well, sorry if I forgot to hold the mic up, but I'll try to hold it up when I speak so y'all can hear me a little better. But yeah, so we are playing the Pheasantipity. Might seem a little counterintuitive because we do want to keep one prize board most of the time. But even like just on your last turn, the turn that you're going to win the game, just turning your nest ball into draw 3s to find like your last Sada or the energy attachment, whatever you need to get into the game. If you need to discard the rest of your deck, that's like huge. There's just like a free 3 cards is a really big consistency boost on that last turn. And that last turn tends to be the toughest to like, get enough cards in the discard pile to one shot a Zard or miss the Sada. Your opponent's usually going to Iono you to 1 or 2. So turning all your Pokemon Search into a draw 3 is really nice. Before that, you're avoiding using it as much as possible. But, if you're going to lose if you don't draw 3 cards and find something, then you might as well go ahead and nest ball for your Fez and give it a shot, right? So then we have the Iron Bundle. This just allows you to push stuff to the bench that you'll be able to one-shot later, but you can't one-shot now. So against like something like Lugia, where you can't knock out the Lugia they're attacking with, you can push it to the bench. A lot of time they'll have a bunch of one-prizers on their bench, and you can just knock out one of their one-prizers for now, and then go ahead and knock out the Lugia later once you've built up more ancient cards in your discard pile. We're not playing the Koraidon. I just don't like it as an attacker. I don't like its retreat cost. I think that it's just a super weak mon in the deck. And it forces you to play Fighting Energy, which is not something I want to do. Holding the mic makes for inconsistent volume levels. When it's close to your mouth, it can peak the boom. I'd recommend turning up the input volume and just leaving it on the desk. I believe I have my input volume at max. That is my hold up. Yeah, my input volume is at max. No, I'm not playing the Great Tusk just because I don't play Penny or anything like that. So if you open it, it can be really awkward. I think the card's okay, but I just think that there aren't that many matchups where you actually need to win by deck out, especially in the current format. You're just pretty solid into most of the matchups. The idea behind Ancient in this format is just, it is pretty favored in everything that made top 8 at Worlds. I'm going back and forth between the Prime Catcher and the Secret Box in the deck. Prime Catcher is just much, much more consistent Gust. It's much more aggressive. It allows you to not need to play Boss. You can just play Research. But obviously Secret Box offers some like early game consistency. If you find it early on, Secret Box is huge. But I've been going back and forth. Secret Box can be great if it's timed right, but Prime Catcher I find a little bit more consistently strong. So without further ado, if you guys have any other questions about the list, feel free to drop them in the chat, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. Why no Petrant? I just don't expect to play against a lot of Snorlax, so I know there's niche uses as a switch card, but you don't really want to match as a switch card in most matchup because of the 2 prize liability. I I just don't think it's worth over other cards if you're not going to play against Lax. How hard is the Zard matchup? One sec. Zard's pretty tough. I think you can win it. The bundle helps a little bit. So does the Fez. You know, it helps you get, you know, all of your ancient Pokemon in the discard pile on your last turn to knock out a Zard, because that can be very, very tough. But it's definitely your worst matchup, I would say. Zard's always been a problem matchup, especially because we don't play the Cobalion. It's just really tough not to one-shot a Charizard. I think it's one of those matchups where if your opponent doesn't like quite know how to play it properly, you can just sort of outplay Charizard sometimes. But generally speaking, it is a very tough matchup. Okay, we are going second. Not ideal, but that's okay. I like to always go first as Ancient. I know some people like to go second, but that's just a gamble in my opinion. You're probably not going to hit the turn 1 attack, so it's better to just go first, get an energy attachment down, have an extra turn to find Sada. Maybe you can use Explorer's Guidance turn 2 instead of using a Sada. That way you get more Ancient cards in your discard pile. We are playing against Thorns. Very, very good matchup. It's not like completely free. If you don't get going quick enough, you know, they can Lost City some stuff. Okay, let's just Vessel away the Dark. The Thin. I think I'm just going to Explorer's Guidance. Without another Moon, it's just not worth. Yikes. I think we might only be able to take one Sada here. And then maybe the Nest Ball to get another Moon. Yeah. So it's a tough one for sure. Thorns feels great though. I really find the Cobalion to be a meta call, but I can't count how many times Pecha has saved me when someone tried to counterstall me. Let's just get the other Moon out now. Yeah, having a switch out is definitely nice. I'm not, saying it's not good to have a switch out, but I do think that the cards in it doesn't help you get set up. And I find, most of your losses with Ancient come down to just bricks. So playing as many consistency cards as possible is nice. The Pecha run can be a nice switch. I haven't played a ton with it. I just have some friends that have played with it, and they said they have found it's not really worth it unless you're playing against Lax, or unless you expect to play against a decent amount of Lax. And I honestly expect to play against like 0 Lax. So just gonna try to Guidance again here. We'll Nest Ball, get another Moon out. Pokegear, nice. Explorer. Take Explorer, Vessel. So we'll take Explorer and Ultra Ball. I got lots of Dark Energy in hand. Well, I got a couple of Dark Energy in hand. But I do want to get rid of these guys. Let's get another Moon. Doing 150. I'm going to hold that Moon in case we get Counter Catcher stalled. Or, well, Boss stalled. Pokemon Catcher stalled. Some sort of Gust stalled. Canceling Clone. I've had a bit of a runny nose today, so I might, if I, blur out my face cam and go mute for a second. I'm just blowing my nose, guys. I'm trying to bring you guys some content while I deal with some allergies. But I won't start blowing my schnoz on stream for you guys. Sada. Bonk, bonk. Don't even need to use the Night Stretcher. Easy. I mean, we are in a phenomenal spot here. Whether or not my opponent found another Iron Thorns there. As long as you get set up, this matchup's pretty free. I think the only scary thing is if like they get started ahead of you, start lost citying your attackers, and vacuum maybe one of your future boosters. If they play 2 vacuum, they can get rid of 2 of them. Just whittling down your lost or your ancient count by throwing stuff in the lost zone can be annoying, but they need to take a pretty significant lead in order to have a chance. You're not that Greninja reliant that you simply just cannot set up. See, I just disappear. Totally don't blow my nose, and then I am back all of a sudden. Who would have thought? Guys, I started to play Pokemon TCG in my locals, buying a Voir box. Anyone have any tips for a beginner, like Gardevoir? Gardevoir is definitely one of the tougher decks to pick up as a beginner. But, I mean, this is going to sound pretty simple, but name of the game is just keep as many Kirlias in play as you can. Now that also tends to be get some Monkadoris in play and keep those down as much as you can. Use those to sort of fix up your math. Allow things like Miracle Force to take one-shots when they otherwise wouldn't be able to without the damage already on there for Monkadori. But keeping as many Kirlias on board as possible is really the key to the matchup. I'll be jamming Ancient Box tomorrow for a challenge and next weekend for a cup. Would you be willing to check out my list? I'm only a month or so into the game, so feedback is appreciated. Yeah, you can send it there. I might not have the best idea of, I might miss a couple cards here and there if it's just in text form, but I can take a look. I think just Palpad, Sada. Not a great hand. We'll go Nest Ball, get the Moon, just attach to it, and pass. Maybe we should have just grabbed... No, that seems fine. I don't think we really needed that stuff. Flutter, Night Stretcher, Booster, Dark. It's fine to dump. What changes are you considering to the list? So really it's just a matter of Secret Box versus Prime Catcher. So with the Secret Box list, I play 4 Walking Wake instead of the 3rd Pokestop. And then I also play Boss instead of Research. And I play a 3rd Night Stretcher instead of the Superior, since I have an additional way to discard stuff. Sent a DM on Twitter. Okay, in that case, if you're sending me on Twitter, I'll just I'll take a look after the stream and send you some feedback. An Irida. My opponent suddenly got something going on here. Do you play Petra MTX? I do not play Petra MTX. If I were to play Petra MTX, I guess I'd probably cut the Pheasantipity. That could also... They're not necessarily interchangeable, but having two prizers can be kind of awkward, so kind of makes sense to swap out one for the other. I've been recently playing 2 Dark Patch. I've never been a huge fan of Dark Patch. A one or two Dark Patch, it doesn't hurt, but I've just never found it to be really necessary. I think that I'm just going to explore and keep getting more cards in the discard rather than getting... Yeah, let's do this.
Night Stretcher. I'm just gonna Concealed. Vessel Away Booster. Dark. I just always found the dark patch was just like, I'd rather like a trekking shoes or something like that to find my Sadas more consistently. Because if I find my Sadas, then I don't necessarily need dark patch to stay powered up. Is Patch Run just for Snorlax, or are there other applications? Having a switch card, especially a searchable switch card, is solid. It's not bad to have a switch card. Sometimes you can just get trapped, or you can get your only moon knocked out, and then you have to Sada attach to the benched one with like a non-ancient Pokemon like Bundle or Greninja active, and then you can patch up into the active. But generally speaking, it's mostly just for lax. I'm experimenting with Thornton as well. You can load up energy to other ancient Pokemon as well, and Thornton in a Roaring Moon. Yeah, that's a solid application as well. It's just another case where I find, just playing another Ultra Ball or something like that kind of serves a similar purpose. You can just get another Roaring Moon out that way. With a 2 Night Stretcher, I find I don't really run out of moons very often. And in my Secret Box list, I actually play 3 Night Stretcher, so able to pretty consistently keep those guys set up. I'm going to Concealed cards first here. See what we get. Walking Wake. Okay, let's Pokestop. Alright, not super helpful. I think I'm just going to try to hit an Explorer. Nope, just another Sada. I guess there's a Sada 1 energy into play. Leave the other one in discard. And then Superior away the Walking Wakes. Running a little low on energy here, or at least energy recovery options, but I still have Super Rod left. Let's bring this up. Start attacking. A little slow to get going that game, just because of the Iron Bundle start. You're considering this for Baltimore? I'm actually not going to Baltimore, but if I were going to Baltimore, this would probably be my top pick right now. I just think Ancient is super, super well positioned. Just looked up Ancient Box on YouTube and saw you were playing the Sleeper BDIF. Yeah, I think it kind of is right now. It's definitely a deck that like can have some consistency issues, but it's just so good into what made top 8 at Worlds. Just has great matchups into all those big basic 2-prize beat stick decks, and Drago, which, is the big basic, but still a 2-price beat stick deck. I'm playing 1 Stretcher, 1 Superior, 2 Rods, but I'm still not sure that is the right combination of these 4 slots. Yeah, I'm playing 1 Superior, 1 Superior, 1 Rod, 2 Stretcher, and that's felt pretty strong so far. Easy concession from the Chen Pao player. Yeah, that matchup's really, really good. They were playing looked like the Lucas Singh list with the Palkia from Worlds. But Palkia not going to help them much in this matchup. Although, the HP buff on Palkia is actually pretty nice. I'm missing any messages here. If Baltimore was tomorrow, I'd play it, but I don't know how the meta will develop until then. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to look at it. Right now, if there was a major event tomorrow, I would play Ancient Box. But generally speaking, anything could change between now and then. Only a couple weeks left, though. Go first. Screen to most decks. Don't look up the Zard percentage. Yeah, Zard is definitely your problem matchup. But Zard's also kind of at an all-time... Well, not an all-time, but... all-time low since, Arvin, Zard really popped off. Ancient Box is actually the first deck I picked up IRL. Just love the way the deck plays. Yeah, I love Ancient Box, too. It's just so much fun to play. I do wish it was more consistent, but what can you do? Squawkabilly start. I'm kind of scared this could be like Bolt, and then I'm going to get punished for not benching this Pheasantipity. But especially if it's Bolt, I don't want to bench the Pheasantipity. If it's Drago, I'm probably fine. No, let's bench the Fez, because even if it's Drago, they could pretty easily donk me. And like Dawn could donk me. Lots of Squawkabilly decks that could donk me here. Sometimes I can beat Zard with Ancient Box, not an auto loss. I would say 45-55. I would say it's probably like 35-65, but it's like a hard matchup to play from both sides, so you can have some skill expression, give you the edge in the matchup. I'd say if you're better than your opponent, then it's probably closer to 45-55. Definitely a hard matchup, though, to reach those ridiculous Zard numbers. Kind of want to experiment a little with Mochi and see if it's helping, if it did help get there. Yeah, the problem with Mochi is that, like, if you just play one, it could just easily just get Pokestopped away before you can even use it. And then you also have to bench the Pecharunt, which gives up 2 prizes. I think your best bet is just hoping that they miss the Turo when you try to 2-shot a Zard. Getting 2 prizes that way. But, you know, it's pretty tough. Prime Catcher kind of helps because you can Prime Catcher the Pidgeot pretty consistently. So I like Prime Catcher a lot in the deck, but I'd say that generally speaking, the matchup's still going to be very tough. And the better the Zard player is, the more of an uphill battle it is, of course. Okay, we'll Pokestop first. See what we get. I'd love a Nest Ball or something. Superior. We'll Gear. Explore. Let's get... Ooh, that is not good at all. Prime Catcher probably. An Explorer, another Explorer maybe. I really got nothing going on here. That Prime Catcher could come in clutch though. Let's attach here. And just swing for 160. This does not feel good. We're just going to get knocked out. Hopefully this Fez draws us some very good cards. Yeah, the Mochi just, if I find, very difficult to use. And it's not super needed in most matchups, especially because you don't want to bench the Pecharunt early in most matchups. So it's really just like an end game card, which gives you so many turns to potentially Pokestop it away if you're not using it until like your last turn. We're definitely fighting an uphill battle here, but Prime Catcher can knock out the Mew, or realistically the Mew. We're probably not going to get enough to knock out Fez. Our Fez really needs to draw something here. Oh, Rotro. I mean, that's okay. That's okay. At least we had to keep our Moon. We needed the Fez to find us Moon pieces anyways, so this way we don't need to find Moon pieces. We can just use Explorer. Let's Concealed first, see what we get, and then we'll Pokestop, and then we'll Explorer. We'll Nest Ball. Moon. Pokestop. Oh, not what we want to see. Just Explorer. Super Odd. Palpad. Yeah, I think it has to be. That's tough. What are we doing right now? 110. Okay, we're just going to go attach. Yeah, that was a very rough Explorer. We'll just bring up the Mew. We'll attach Booster to force our opponent to put another card on our Ancient count. And we'll just Vengeance Fletchling the Mew for the knockout. The Gudra gonna cause us some issues here. I like Cobalion with Artisan as an answer to Zard. Yeah, it's my problem is just that it's not good against anything else, right? So it's can be a wasted slot if you don't play against a ton of Zard. And Zard's kind of, it's only at it's not in the top. Zard isn't in the top 3 for popularity right now, so I don't love teching for it. Yeah, Cobalion definitely can clutch up against, random moons and mirrors as well, but obviously not quite as necessary. Mirror's mirror, and moon is pretty free as long as you get attacking fairly early. But, it definitely has some other uses. Can also knock out Fez easier, which can be relevant. What's my opponent going to do? Probably just going to keep swinging with Gudra. It's going to be very tough. You can counter catcher around this. Just easily knock out that Ogre, though. We're never going to be able to one-shot a Drago if it keeps using... Oh, it's not going to keep using Gudra. So we're doing 190, 210 right now? Yeah. Okay. Nest Ball for the moon. Let's just Sada first. Okay, concealed cards. Still superior. They want to Kyurem, I guess. Yeah. They are certainly setting up for the Kyurem, but I don't know if it's their best line here. Kind of like it if they go down to 1 prize next turn and enable my counter catcher again. We're doing 220. So plus 3 more. Let's just Pokestop. Capsule the active, yeah. Unless I can just take a knockout. If I can just take a knockout, I don't even need to capsule the active. So 220, 1, 2, 3, 4. So not quite. We didn't hit the counter catcher either, which does not feel good. If I go, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, actually, if I hit... If I do have a... yeah, okay, I have an Explorer in deck. I actually can get the knockout, I think. 9 cards in deck. Pokegear. Explorer. We're doing 240. Yeah, so we'll... Vessel, away, Walking Wake. Okay. Fail. 260. Superior, away, Explorer, Vessel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Can't Palpad. Just Vengeance Fletchling for the knockout. And now if they Kyurem, then we can just go ahead and use the counter catcher for game, as long as we find a counter catcher. I'm between Mooniex and Ancient Box in the current format. Moon or Moon. I like Ancient Box better. I think it's just like a very good anti-meta pick, but Moon definitely does, I think, probably the best of the big Beat 6 decks into the other ones. Like, it's kind of, I think it's faster than, like, Dawn and Drago and Bolt, even. Especially because you have, like, a one prizer that you can offset the prize trade with the one of Baby Moon. Now they can't cure him, I think. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I just take the knockout, then I don't need to play around cure him. Because they'll activate Counter Catcher. Yeah, well, they lose if they do, so here's hoping. I agree. Let's see, they're down 4 energy switch as well, so they definitely can't cure him. Which should mean that all I need to do to win is hit a Dark Energy. I'm down all my Vessels, and my Superior, and Double Knight Stretcher, so that's not amazing. I have a Sada left. I have Gears left. And I got Pokestop in hand. So, I mean, decent odds here. $70. Did they just use what, like Jet Headbutt? Covert Flight. Oh, they play the Noivern and I didn't even see them drop it. I mean, that's fine. We'll just Pokestop. Use it. We still have Bundle. Counter Catcher. Well, I want them to knock this out. Well, I want them to knock this and the Greninja out. Let's end turn. Just because I just need them to activate Counter Catcher. They've already used Scoop Up Cyclone. Crazy A-Spec. And you're just going to see another... Okay. So they did find the Phantom Dive here. They're actually 1 mil away from deck out. Yeah, I don't play the Great Tusk, though. So this is not looking great. I think I don't really want to risk milling the Sada. This is where Petron would be nice. Pokegear, fail, darn. Pokestop. Pokegear, Sada. Let's see what I have left. Is there a world here? I need them to not have Way to the Active on the Counter Catcher. Yeah, even if I played Great Tusk here, it wouldn't be enough. I'm just going to Counter Catcher the Fez. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they definitely should have energy left. But I guess we will see. So to all the Petron believers, I mean, I didn't find the super odd anyways, so I don't know if it mattered, but yeah. We had a pretty slow start that game. Oh well. See what we got up next. I'd love a Drago rematch. That one didn't feel great. Yeah, that one Explorer's Guidance was really bad. I had to bench my Fezandipity to play around the Donk turn 1. And I ended up in a position where I only had 1 Moon in play and nothing else. I play 1 Great Tusk. Yeah, I mean, Great Tusk is decent. It definitely comes up here and there. I try to think about, like, whether games that I lost, whether or not I could have won them if I played Great Tusk, and I find those games just don't come up super often. Are you satisfied with your worlds? You know, it is what it is. I had some very rough luck in my losses. Nothing you can do about it. I played a cool deck. First or second blind? I like to go first blind. To get the turn 1 attach. Just much more consistently you get early attack if you just take a turn to attach an energy. I find that like the odds of you hitting turn 1 Sada knockout are pretty low anyways. Nest Ball for Moon. Let's Pokestop before we attach. Attach and pass. First is also so much better against Drago. Yeah, first is definitely better against Drago. I'd say it's better in most matchups. I don't think there's any matchups that I choose to opt second with this deck off the top of my head. I used to go first because I prefer to have an extra turn to set up. Yeah, exactly. The odds of you hitting turn 1 attack going second are pretty low. It's just not really worth it. You know, sometimes you'll hit the Sada, but you'll only get 1 Moon out, which isn't really worth it. Or you'll get the Sada and you'll get an attack off, but you won't even do enough damage. Or you just won't get Sada at all. You also really want to be playing Explorers more early and Sada more later. So if you can like attach turn 1 and then Explorer turn 2 and then just attach again. Did you see the winning Juniors list? No Wake to Tusk. I did see the winning Juniors list. Did it play Koraidons though? Okay, no Koraidon, just a low ancient count, which I mean is fine. I don't like starting Tusk primarily. But I haven't tried the winning list yet. So it could be better than I think the double Tusk. I know James Muser really loves their great Tusk in Ancient Box, even playing double Turbo Energy. Bug catching set. Not a lot of Roaring Moon or Raging Bolt lists playing bug catching set anymore. Definitely not a lot of Roaring Moon lists playing bug catching set. That's fair. Guess they make up for damage output with Defiance. Yeah, that can be helpful for getting that last knockout since you play a lower agent count. Don't you risk Wake getting 2 prized by hands easily? I would rather them to open Wake and it get knocked out by an Iron Hands for 2 prizes than open Koraidon. Or open a Great Tusk and just be stuck there. It's pretty easy for your opponent to also hands one of those Pokemon if you open them. Is basically what it comes down to. I don't know what I want to Nest Ball for yet. I think I'm just going to Pokestop first. Nice. 2 energy in the discard. Makes my decision nice and easy. We'll just Nest Ball for a Moon. Play the Sada. Attach. We're doing 130 right now. That would be 150. Oh, am I 10 short of knocking out a Squawkabilly here? Just grab Greninja. Concealed cards. Maybe I can find another way to get. Maybe I find like a Vessel. Superior. Don't love Superior. I think we're gonna go for it though. We'll Ultra Ball away this and this. Get this. And then Superior away this and this. for that. Now we're doing 170, so we can go dark. Let's get another moon out as well. And then we'll just prime catcher the Squawkabilly, take the lead. Pretty good start here. Also, I mean, you're just not going to start the Walking Wake that often, right? When you do, I would rather have a 1-retreater to easily move to my bench, especially with like a Sada. But most games, it won't be relevant which one you play. You just won't start either of them if you can help it. But yeah, the other thing is you have less deck space if you play Koraidon, because you have to play Fighting Energy, and that takes up another deck spot. Only so much you can do against hands with Greninja 2, but it can't take 2 prizes from Moons without help, which is great. Yeah, I think you're pretty favored at all the decks that play hands, whether or not they take a 2 prize knock-in on Walking Wake. You have a great Chien-Pao matchup, a great Miraidon matchup. Lugia is probably the scariest. Lugia can be close. So, maybe opening Walking Wake against Lugia specifically is especially bad, but generally speaking, I don't mind opening a Walking Wake into a hands deck, because most of them are pretty significantly favored as is. Explorer. Should have Pokestopped first there to see what I got before I had to make my Explorer choice. Man, this happened last game too. I like exact same, I believe, discarding 2 Stretcher and a Sada, and to keep Super Rod Palpad. Okay, we'll Pokestop now. I mean, that's what I get for not Pokestopping first. Pokestop could have grabbed a couple of those items into hand. Just got punished. Are you playing Fez and Petron? I'm just playing Fez, no Petron. Swing for 240. Imagine we played a Vacuum. They'll probably switch card it anyways, maybe to play around a Vacuum. I think we're favored even if we 2-shot this, so not a big deal. So they're going to take another knockout. We're going to go into 2 prize cards when we knock this out. We can Ultra Ball for a Moon here. Let's Pokestop first, before we put some Pokemon back. Okay, found 2 outs here. We'll grab Moon, and a Dark. And then let's Ultra Ball away, Ultra Ball Counter Catcher for a Moon. Throw it down. Sada. Dark. Bench another Moon. Vessel away the Vessel. Get the single Dark Energy. I actually might not use it here, though. I probably should have saved the Vessel if I'm not going to use it. Well, actually, I do want to get up to 290. So I think we're not going to use it, though. How many supporters am I down? 3 Sada, 3 Explorer. It's only 8 cards in deck. Yeah, let's just Vengeance Fletchling for the knockout. I still want to attach here, because that forced me to find Sada next turn. I might not find Sada next turn, so... Or if they, like, boss stall the Greninja. And I want a way to retreat in Sada for a knockout. What do they got schmovin' here? If they just knock us out, we just win. Is the deck list posted anywhere? I will send... I did show it at the beginning, so if you rewind to the start of when I started playing Ancient games, right before that I did go over the list, so you can screenshot it from there. But otherwise, I'll send a export of the list after this game. I'm not sure you explained, but why no Petch? It's really just not necessary outside of the Snorlax matchup. Having a searchable switch card can be nice. You know, there was a last game actually, where if I had Pecharunt, I could have switched up into the active and taken a knockout because I had no Moons in play and Greninja active, so I couldn't Sada attach knockout. My Prime Catcher was already down. But especially with the Prime Catcher in the deck, that situation just doesn't come up nearly as often. I just find that the Pecha isn't really needed if you aren't expecting Lax. And I also find playing 2 prize Pokemon is pretty sketchy because you don't want to open any, obviously. And I already play the Pheasantipity. I guess we're going to locals and you know there are going to be a good amount of Snorlax. Pecharunt is good, but otherwise kind of useless. Yeah, basically. It definitely has some niche uses, generally speaking, but it is primarily a Snorlax tech. And I do not expect playing against lots of Snorlax. Opponent conceded. All right, I think we got time for one more game, folks. I got a coach at 6. Why Prime Catcher instead of Box, though? Playing Boss just feels really bad. Prime Catcher lets you not have to play Boss. It's a lot better. Just a lot more consistent, generally speaking. I mentioned earlier I'm like flip-flopping between Box and Prime Catcher still. I'm not 100% on which one's better. But right now I'm trying the Prime. I've always liked Prime. It just, best ace spec in the game. But, Secret Box just doesn't feel as consistently good. I always like using Prime Catcher in this deck. I don't always use Secret Box. I don't always have a great use for Secret Box unless I draw it early. So it can be a dead card late game, which I don't like having any dead cards late game. If you have if you got like Iono to 1 and draw the Secret Box, it's not going to provide a ton of value. Unless you can also find the Fez. So the Secret Box definitely, it's a little bit easier to use late game with Fez, but still not in love with it. Let's just get Moon. Just want to clean the deck before I Pokestop. Clefairy. Vessel. Okay, so we'll Vessel away the Ancient Booster. Dark. We do have the Prime Catcher, so I may be able to just Prime Catcher something for a knockout next turn. Ancient versus Future Box. What is your opinion? I definitely think Ancient is better deck right now. You definitely can't go wrong with Catcher regardless of the deck. Yeah, exactly. It's just such a... It's the best ace spec, I guess Secret Boxes win more, whereas Prime Catcher can come in clutch in so many times. Yeah, Prime Catcher is just sort of always good and wins you games you wouldn't otherwise, where Secret Box is just sort of a, if I find this at the right time, I can have a huge consistency boost, especially if I find it early game. But it's less consistently good. And it forces you to build your deck a little bit differently. Because you have to play the boss. I'm playing with Box and my Bolt. I've never tried Box and Bolt. I know the only time I remember someone playing Box and Bolt was James Cox on his showcase match against Jake Gearhart before the set with Teal Mask came and Secret Box and stuff came out. Played Secret Box in his Raging Bolt list, but I haven't really seen it much since then. Definitely, a nice consistency boost. I gotta imagine you missed Prime Catcher though. But with heavy Pokemon catcher accounts, I can see the vision a little bit more. Now that everybody's playing 3 to 4 catchers. Evo TM. So probably Thorns list with the Pidgeot, Odo. Oh. Wow. I think they Arvin for that Evo TM too. Let's Pokestop first. I like to Pokestop before Explorer. See if that affects my choice on Explorer. Then we'll Explorer, grab Moon, Sada. We'll just go Moon, Energy, Prime Catcher, Knockout. Starting Walking Wake in this matchup is kind of annoying because there's one less ancient card or ancient Pokemon we can get in the discard. And every ancient card kind of counts here. It's a little sad that Awakening Jump's so underwhelming now since I really like the card. Yeah, Awakening Jump's a cool card. I've actually, the format before Secret Box came out, still played Prime Catcher in my ancient list, so I've never actually played Awakening Drum in anything, but it is a very cool card. I just find Prime Catcher too nuts. Gus is just too good to not run at Bolt. I agree. I think that Prime Catcher is just crazy, but Secret Box has some merit for sure. Candy Stones. We're going to see the Pidgeot come out here. We're probably going to go for an Eek this turn, so we'll get to go ahead and take a 2-prize lead, which is nice in this matchup. Last turn alone makes a good argument for catch over box. Yeah, definitely being able to catch her early. I mean, that's the thing, is like Secret Box seems better a lot of times if you find it early, but finding early Prime Catcher is crazy too in a lot of matchups. Prime Catcher is also way better into Guardy. Drum is just not the play, so you don't even have bench that many ancient Pokemon in Ancient Box nowadays. Yeah, exactly. I always found it, like, optimally, I was only drawing a couple cards with it anyways, so it wasn't worth running. Yeah, just like a permanent plus power, basically. Just the fact that it was an ancient card, you can just dump for 10 more damage for the rest of the game. It's pretty cool, but it's not as good as, like, Prime Catcher. Especially now that we have Secret Box. Secret Box is usually going to do the same thing anyways. I say the only annoying thing is that it lowers your overall ancient count in the deck, which means your just like damage cap is lower, making her knock out things like Charizard and Dragon Bolt at the end of the game, but not a lot going on for my opponent here. We're in good shape. I should have Vesseled after concealed cards if I knew I only had one. That my other Dark was prized. Pokestop. Vessel CCCC. Yeah, no, I don't even have a Dark in deck anyways. I'm not getting knocked out though, so it's fine. The best part of Drum was always drumming on the table when I played it. Yeah, that was a pretty fun moment at, I think it was EYC. That Ancient Box one. Gabriel Fernandez versus Benny Billinger, and they had both drummed on the table. No Mander, and that is true. We've kept them from having Mander. I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, they used Quick Search last turn, so they definitely could have gotten a Mander out, but I guess that wasn't their priority. Or they do. They only play 2, don't they? Because it's Towards list. So yeah, the other one was prized. Now we won't be able to gust that one up, because we just play the Prime Catcher as our only way to gust when we're not behind. So, but that's okay. I wonder what they'll bring up. Because, I mean, I think they should definitely just absorb a hit with Pidgeot. But maybe they'll bring up, give me another 1-prizer. Thornton. What are we going to see? We're going to see a Charizard come out here? Might. Thornton the Pheasantipity away. It kind of makes sense. Doesn't make as much sense if they knew that I didn't have a way to bring it up, but they don't know that. I don't play boss. Candy Zard. My hand is pretty bad, especially because I don't have any dark energy in the discard pile. I'm going to need to find something off Pokestop. I think my Superior is gone as well. I do still have both Night Stretcher left, though. And, of course, the Rod. DTE on the Radzard. Pass? Maybe? If they pass, then I could potentially go for an Iron Bundle to take a prize this turn. Looks like that is going to be the line. So let's just Pokestop. No point in Vesseling with no Darken deck. Ultra Ball. Very nice. Well, Ultra Ball away. Flutter. Ancient Booster. I did prize. Okay, I didn't prize any Moon. You're still on discard. We'll go. Do I still want a Sada? I think I do still want a Sada. Okay, this is fine. We'll just hit the Pidgeot. If they bring up Zard and swing with that, they'll go down to 5. We swing into the Zard, they get down to 4. We'll see. There might be a counter catcher play on that Pidgeot later. We might be able to end up behind in the long run. But it's going to be a weird game because of our lead. Opponent do be kind of popping off. Yeah, last year was really good for them. I think they could have gotten a Charizard EX stack off, though. They didn't. When do you usually play Fez? I haven't played with Fez yet, but I imagine just when you have a Ring Move ready to KO something, you know they're going to take a knockout on their next turn. So, actually, a lot of the time I only Fez... a lot of time you only Fez, like, on your last turn. It's just really nice to be able to, like, Nest Ball draw 3 on your last turn, especially if you get, like, I don't know, to 1 or 2. Otherwise, you're only using it if you absolutely have to survive. I guess if you run Koraidon, have a full bench, there may be some cases where Drum is good, but I don't know. The problem is that even if you open Koraidon, it's still a misplay to bench a bunch of Ancient Pokemon to boost damage. That's the biggest problem with Koraidon, is that, you know, most of the time, it's not correct to bench a bunch of Ancient Pokemon, just because it gives your opponents a bunch of targets to stall up with Counter Catcher, Boss, Pokemon Catcher, and it lowers your overall damage output, since those are all Pokemon that you can no longer increase your ancient count with. So, like, even when I played Koraidon, I still wasn't getting much value out of Awakening Drum, just because it was not optimal to fill my bench with it. Koraidon was never good. The Screamtail version, I won a special event. That one, a special event, was better. Yeah, I played the Screamtail variant for a while until Walking Wake came out. Okay, let's just Explorer, Super Odd, Night Stretcher. Yeah, Super Odd, Night Stretcher. Play the Super Odd, shuffle back in, Moon, Dark. Then we can Vessel, away the Walking Wake. Dark. Night Stretcher for a Moon. Did I use this yet? No. Pokestop. I should have used that before Rod, and I did get punished for it, but that's okay. We'll go Attach. Take the knockout. Get down to 3. So this isn't too bad. We can use Iron Bundle to take our last prize. Or at least offset our prize trade. And then we can just sort of wait until our opponent got us down to 1 prize and then counter catcher a 2-prizer. Feeling a little sick. I've had a upset stomach today, so a little bit. My judgment would be a little bit foggy, but I think that we're in a fine spot here. We definitely can't bench Fez. Don't want to give our opponent a way to take a 2-prize turn. What damage are we doing right now? We're doing... It doesn't say. 4. It's 11, 15, 19, 24, 240. So you think they should never bench any Ancient Mon but Moon, do you? Because sometimes I used to open Flutter Mane when I go first, even if I have Moon in my hand. I would open Moon if I have Moon. Especially now, just because there's not a lot of decks. There's no like Lost Box hanging around. I mean, maybe the occasional, but definitely not super popular. But yeah, I think that ideally you don't bench any Ancient Pokemon except Moon. But obviously there are matchups where Flutter is very strong. Like Comfy decks. If you're going second against Zard, sometimes I'll open a Flutter or a Walking Wake just because they're probably going to get the first attack off. So I can let something that isn't a Roaring Moon go down. Okay, they do get another Zard out. It's kind of annoying. Makes my bundle play not very real. This is close. It's gonna be tight. I'm gonna swing me down to 4. I'll swing back. Then they'll go down to 3. I mean, I think that I have it as long as I can keep attacking. Just that streaming the other attackers give me the hardest part. I think I only have 1 Night Stretcher left, actually. Night Stretcher and Rod down. 3 Moon down. I feel like I might just lose. I should have brought the Walking Wake. And just... No, they'll just quick search for boss anyways. This is fine. Ultra Ball, these 2. For Fez. I think I need to go for Fez to try to maximize the use of the Sada. I kind of like it if they would knock it out. It's like a counter catcher. But that would be bait. They definitely shouldn't go for the knockout on it. Let's just Sada to guarantee attack. Won't attach one to Walking Wake. Attach. Just Fletchling. Still got a Sada left. But it's starting to become insurmountable here. We just don't have the resources. And that's largely my fault for super routing before Pokestop and then discarding the Roaring Moon off the Pokestop. Is Petron DX in this deck? No, I'm not playing the Petron DX. Are they going to hard retreat into the other Zard maybe? Then I could bundle. But again, it's just taking... I don't have a great way to take my last few prize cards. It would be cute here if I did play Dark Patch. I mentioned Dark Patch earlier. So I could technically go double Dark Patch to the Pheasantipity and Cruel Arrow snipe the Pidgeot. That's why I love the Thornton. You can treat all your ancient Pokemon like a moon. Roger, last time I tried, it actually works. Works at what, though? Because I'm not really worried about Snorlax. It definitely has some like other niche uses, but I think the primary use for Petron is Lax, and I don't expect to play against Lax, really, in the current meta. So they are going to knock out the Fez, which opens up the counter catcher option. So now I actually do have a line to win the game. Control decks, but mainly against Gardevoir in late game. Prime Catcher. So this list has Prime Catcher, which I find helps a lot more against Gardevoir generally. That mobility is really nice. Same reason. But yeah, control decks aren't very popular right now, so it's not something that
I would ever tech for. I think that I'd be pretty confident that I would hit 0 control decks at a major. If you play online, there's a lot of control online. Like, there's a lot more than in paper Pokemon at tournaments and stuff. So then I can see it a lot more. Let's just Explorer for the rest of my deck. Grab Stretcher, Counter Catcher. I have to take an energy off the prizes as well. So we go Stretcher, Moon, bench it, Counter Catcher, Pidgeot. Maybe this was wrong. Maybe I should have gone for a 1 prize here. I'm just scared of them collapsing away the Pidgeot. Guess we'll see. I'll probably get punished for this because I needed the Counter Catcher. I didn't need it, but I wanted the Counter Catcher access. My bundle's gone. Just the Sada. So right now I'm doing 270. They knock this out. I'm doing 280, 290, 300. Yeah, without the Cobalion, I'm not seeing it. Do you think Petrarunt plus Prime is overkill? To some degree, I think so. I think they serve very different purposes, right? But Prime Catcher sort of makes Petrarunt have less value, for sure. Gritty has so much Dark Units too. Gus just destroys it. Yeah, as long as you can find Prime Catcher at the right time. Not enough energy left now. Yeah, I was hoping to draw the last one off the prizes. It's not prizes, it's on the Walking Wake. Yeah, I think there was no way I could get back enough last turn to survive. We honestly, if my opponent played better, it wouldn't have even been that close. They could have just knocked out Moon for game. We shouldn't even have enough moons to stay alive, but they tried to give us a win. Who knows? Maybe they'll knock out Green Ninja. Even then, we can't get to 330 this turn anyways. No bundle, no other ways to gust. There was just never a way for us to take this last prize card. But again, that's on me for earlier in the game I super rotted before Pokestop by accident, and then I ended up Pokestopping away the Moon that I super rotted back in. If I hadn't done that, I would have had one more Moon to work with, and maybe that would have been the difference maker I needed to win the game. Because I would have had a Stretcher left. I think I probably still would have been a little bit short, but much better chances. And this is going to be my last game for tonight, so I'll play out I'll draw some cards, but that is going to be it. I have to coach in about half an hour. But thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. I've been enjoying streaming lately. Yeah, my opponent definitely did not play the matchup correctly. Let's Pokestop the deck away. Go out on my own terms here. Bunk. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I hope it was still fun to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed the opening at the beginning for anyone who was here for the Shrouded Fable opening. I will be back next Friday, I believe. Have a great night, and enjoy the rest of your week.